Hey everybody. I wanted to tell y'all about a conversation that I had with one of our buyers yesterday. We were talking about her hesitancy to get into the mortgage for the home that she wanted because she's concerned about what the monthly mortgage will be versus what she's paying for rent. And it was just really interesting to me because I think about how much we are willing, myself included, over the years to pay for rent, especially if you're renting a home, because you have the actual rent itself, which is going to be priced so that it includes the rent, but also a profit for your landlord. And then most of the time, you have to pay to keep everything on in the home as far as utilities. So I just wanted to point out that, it's really the same that you're paying, but of course the huge difference that we all know is that when you are buying your home, it's your home. You're investing in yourself. And so you are paying that monthly payment every month, no matter where you live, and no matter who owns the house, whether it's you or your landlord, you have to pay to live until you die. And the only exception to that is if you own your home, you will eventually pay off your home. And there's all kinds of ways, we tend to think that that's something that's impossible to do, to actually pay off your home. And most people buy a home with the intent to live there for a period of time, maybe 7 to 10 years, and then to upgrade, buy a new home. And that's fine too, but there are some that are buying their forever home. And it is possible to pay your home off. It's possible to get in there and maybe the payment is a little bit higher than what you want it to be, but thinking of it in terms of a stepping stone or an investment really helps. So, for instance, to explain that, what I mean is if you go into a home, maybe your interest rate isn't going to be exactly what you want it to be right now. And so it may cause your monthly mortgage to be a little bit higher than what you want. But now you've made the step to get into a home, and that's going to do leaps and bounds for your credit. So now you have the possibility of refinancing in a year. I have a client that right now has been in her home for only 6 months and is currently refinancing. And what that means is you're able to, after you've shown that you've paid your monthly mortgage on time and other bills and maintain your credit, you are able to get a lower interest rate, which lowers your monthly payment. And that's something that's important because rent is never going to go down. Your landlord is never going to say, hey, you have been doing such a good job paying your rent, we're going to give you a chance to lower it. That's never ever going to happen. And with most cases, you're going to be facing a rent increase once a year if you stay in the same place. So that in and of itself is a big incentive when you are comparing rent versus mortgage payment. And the other thing is just thinking about the actual amount of the mortgage payment. I had a client that said to me that she knew of someone who had been renting for 20 years. I'm just letting that soak in. 20 years. And I don't want anyone to think by any means that there is anything wrong with having to rent. I grew up with my family renting for most of the time that we were growing up, and it's fine. That's what you have to do, and that's what some people choose to do sometimes. The reason that I'm talking so much about renting versus buying right now is because I believe in investing in yourself. So renting is fine temporarily, but we want to be careful to not rent the lifestyle that we want and to be paying for someone else's investment. This particular woman, my client said to me, had been renting her home for 20 years, and it just had such an impact on her because she pretty much paid off someone else's home and has absolutely nothing to show for it. That's what my friend was saying. And it made her sad, and it made me sad. Every day, every month, every week, every year that we rationalize not taking a step towards investing in ourselves and switching from paying rent to mortgage is another year that we have helped someone else to prosper. and not helped ourselves. So I just want to say that I know it's kind of all over the place, but it's really something to think about, because if you take the time and you get the information about what it takes to become an owner versus a renter, renting, you're going to be paying first month's rent and security deposit as your security deposit. And that's a great deal of money most of the time, because if you're renting a home and you're paying $1,400 for that rent, you're going to be paying about $2,800, $3,000 to get in there. That is almost a down payment on a home. Your credit has to be a certain score, and you have to also be careful, because you have to have certain items that are not on your credit, same as when you're qualifying for a home mortgage. You definitely can't have any evictions. You have to have a good rental history to get into the house that you want. Same for buying a home. And you have to have good work history. Same for buying a home. So I guess my point has been illustrated, and what I am encouraging anybody to do, if they're being a little bit hesitant about it, is to just really talk to us, talk to a lender, talk to a financial advisor, and find out what it takes, what the costs are that are involved in getting into a home and getting into a home loan, and just weighing it out and finding out the difference in how much it would be to actually pay and maintain and own your home versus continuing to rent. And this particular person, I thought that it was interesting, and so we talked about it, is paying approximately $200 more per month than what she wants to pay, although the mortgage payment would be around about the same. So every day that she's not moving forward with buying, she's still continuing to pay an amount for someone else's mortgage. And after we kind of talked about it like that, I think that it kind of shined a different light on it. It's important to talk to your real estate agent, your realtor, and your lender to make sure that even if you qualify for a lot, you don't want to necessarily buy the most expensive home, because of course you want to be able to stay in your home. But it's important to sit down, do the numbers, talk about it, and just find out the different expenses that are involved, and hopefully go from renting to owning. So I hope that was helpful, and I would love it if you would get in touch with me or Mike and ask any questions that you have about anything that I said, and we're happy to help you. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday.